And in a CNN News 18 exclusive news break, we are learning that Colombo has expressed strong displeasure after Pakistan dispatched relief material that was already 1 year past its expiry date. This has caused a major diplomatic embarrassment at a time when Pakistan is trying to strengthen its ties in the Indian Ocean region. Well, this is not the first time that Pakistan's relief diplomacy has backfired. Earlier during the Nepal earthquake as well, Pakistan sent beef-based ready-to-eat meals to the Hindu-majority country. New Delhi's successful and timely humanitarian outreach in Sri Lanka is already seen favourably by Colombo. In contrast, Pakistan's shipment of expired material is being viewed as irresponsible and, of course, disrespectful as well. So once again, Pakistan has been found guilty of sending unusable stuff to a country in need. This time, it's material that has passed its expiry date to a country like Sri Lanka, which needs a lot of help right now. In the past, they've also tried to hurt religious sentiments and eating habits of people by sending so-called aid. My colleague Akansha is also joining us with more on this. Akansha, not the first time that this has happened with Pakistan.
Absolutely. In fact, these are inputs that have been shared by our investigations and securities editor Manoj Gupta, who's highlighted that even during the Nepal earthquake earlier, Shivani, Pakistan sent beef-based ready-to-eat meals to Hindu-majority country like Nepal, and that had then also sparked public outrage and accusations of cultural insensitivity. Sri Lankan officials have already now reportedly conveyed their displeasure through formal and informal diplomatic channels as far as the current aid is concerned. They've made it clear that Islamabad's actions undermine the seriousness of the humanitarian assistance that's being granted to them by them. It's especially when the island nation is already battling economic stress and recovery challenges. So the controversy has, of course, further isolated Pakistan as far as the South Asian region is concerned. But on the contrary, New Delhi's successful and timely humanitarian outreach has already been seen favorably by Colombo. And in contrast, Pakistan's shipment of this expired material it's not just being seen as disrespectful but also irresponsible. And Sri Lankan social media and civil society groups are questioning why Pakistan would treat a friendly nation with such negligence. And several commentators have called it a joke of aid diplomacy. They've urged Colombo to demand accountability from Pakistan. They are going to, after this incident, authorities in Colombo, we are being told, will introduce stricter screening for all incoming relief consignments. They are going to do this with particularly countries with a history of controversial or insensitive consignments, and you can only take a guess that Pakistan happens to top that list.
Where is it? Caught in a soup once again. Its aid has been found expired. This aid that has been sent to Sri Lanka at a time of need. 7 cartons that has been sent by Pakistan have been found to be expired and unusable. Now, this isn't the first time this has happened as far as Pakistan is concerned. What we're also getting to know is that Sri Lanka will possibly raise this issue more seriously. Authorities in Colombo will introduce stricter screening for all incoming relief consignment, especially from countries with a history of controversial or insensitive consignments. And certainly Pakistan is one of those. The attempt here by Pakistan, Akansha, what is the attempt here to kind of send this aid which was going to be unusable, expired? Was it just, trying to compete with India in trying to curry favor or goodwill with Sri Lanka at this time?
Perhaps it's both, and a country which is already going through its own set of economic distress is certainly not in a position to be able to help its neighbor, which is so apparent from the consignment that has been sent by Islamabad to Colombo. and it's making it clear that Islamabad's actions have not just been seen as a mark of disrespect, but it's also undermining the seriousness of humanitarian assistance, also the gravity of the situation that currently Sri Lanka is confronted with, and it's also something that is going to cost Pakistan deeply, especially in South Asia. It's going to also isolate them regionally. But more importantly, this is now going to be backfiring for Islamabad, because they will be seen in sharp contrast to how India has fronted the need for this humanitarian assistance. We were the first responders, and so far we are one of those who've sent the largest consignments, all of them of up-to-date quality as well. But more importantly, India has always prioritized its neighborhood, whether it is whether it's countries like Sri Lanka, even say Bhutan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. India has always been at the helm of providing sort of humanitarian assistance, and they all of these countries also come as part of India's neighborhood first policy. You look at Nepal, how India has always helped Nepal so proactively, and we also quoted the example of how Pakistan, on the contrary, had sent beef-laced meals to a Hindu majoritarian nation like Nepal. So this is not a first for Pakistan, clearly, and it also goes on to show the non-seriousness with which they treat the, humanitarian assistance.
There almost seems to be a feeling that you could, try to do some headline management and show certain gestures, and who cares what happens after that. This is the kind of, attitude with which Pakistan works. Major General K.K. Sinha is also joining us. Given that this has happened with Pakistan earlier as well, it has very little face in international community, and certainly in the neighborhood. Not many countries trust Pakistan when it comes to this sort of thing.
Jan, good afternoon. Absolutely, the Pakistan, is getting exposed, and each and every time. It is not only in the neighborhood. India opened up its airspace, and India told Pakistan that you can use the airspace, if you want to actually come and do, the humanitarian service. But they fail. They just want to make a heading, but they don't react. If you remember, in Turkey there was a devastating earthquake. That time they sent the same aid which the Turkey had sent them, and they got exposed totally on that. And now in this case, I think in Pakistan's case, and Pakistan is absolutely in a failed state. If they want to do it, that they are going to do something humanitarian. Why they are not doing it in Afghanistan? They have closed the airspace. India wants to send through the Baga border. India wants to send it. They are not permitting it. There are no flying zone to going to the Afghanistan. So these are the double, standard and double face. They want to always show it, and they're totally exposed. India, even when the Pakistan there was a flood, India offered to help. That time even they have not gone for their for the welfare of the people. They didn't take it. India offered. In recent flood, the flood came in Pakistan. But if India is India established themselves so beautifully, including the NDRF, the way they have operated this time, and this devastating things wherever it happens, not only in that our own continent, our neighbor. In neighbor, we are the first respondent for every time, each and every time.
Yes, absolutely. Major General K.K. Sinha, thanks a lot for joining.